No flats, nothing. Bro, this bird is annoying the out of me, sorry. You know how disturbing it is? It's like dead quiet and just all couldn't focus. I'm gonna start over completely. If you're a bird, stay away from my house. No, me and the crows here in Hemet have a serious war. We hate each other with passion. There's some bird that poops on my truck every day. Started pre-run early like always. Did all that and then, I swear, bro.
That'll get picked up for sure. Yeah.
Okay, so what are we talking about? King of Hammers?
KOH recap, I guess.
King of the Hammers.
We're already recorded.
Let's talk about King of the Hammers. This year, King of the Hammers won. I don't like it. Honestly, I don't like making these recap videos when we lose. This is the second one in a row, and I'm just not a fan of them. Ben, the video guy, had to force me to do this, but I'm here. So, prologue. Prologue is 38 miles this year, so pretty, you know, longer than your normal qualifying, what I'm used to. But I kind of like it because it's like just enough time. Like it's like almost 30-minute run, so you kind of like get settled in, but then it's over. But then you also have to turn it on. Like you don't have enough time to just let yourself settle in those 30 minutes. So it was 38 miles of the race course, so it was pretty self-explanatory since we had done some pre-running. And yeah, for me, I just wanted to find that balance of sending it, but being conservative, because if you get a flat, all of a sudden then you're in 20th place and your chances of winning are not ideal. But then if you go too slow and you know, it's just like mentally you're like, oh. But prologue was super easy. Truck felt good. It ran good. Did all right. Our gearing was a little off of my liking, so we made a change after prologue. But you know, went out there, qualified. We were first. I think we had 30 seconds on the whole field, which is pretty solid for just a little 30-minute thing. So we were really happy with that. And then the boys went back and cleaned the truck up, and then let's dive into race day. I don't know why my cord is short today. Not that you guys probably can't even hear it, but there's a bird attacking me. Okay. So, race day. What was different for me this year is we raced later in the afternoon, so we didn't start till like 1 p.m. So it's kind of just sitting around all morning, which always adds to your stress level. You're like, come on, let's get this over with. Like, I just want to go. Yeah, so race start, we went off the line. We were P1. We started side by side next to Thor Herps. Right out of the gate, I kind of got a little jump on him, and we just kind of, as soon as I got in front of him, in the beginning, it's a super rough, rocky G-outs that are just kind of like miserable, and there's huge rocks, so like your chances of getting a flat are like very high. So as soon as I got in front of him, I just like put it on cruise, because there's no way he's gonna try to pass me unless he's just crazy, because it's so dusty and everything. Like it would have just been a huge risk. So put it on cruise control, and then went up by Heartbreak Hill, which is kind of a little techie area, and then right when we crested Heartbreak Hill, alarm came on. And at that point you're like, what just going? I'm like, Drew, what's flashing at me? And so he, you know, he's looking, but he's like, it's nothing big, I'm resetting it, we're good. So I just kind of boom, take off, and then we're running. So then you drop into some big sandy stuff, and then you hop onto kind of a wide open, it's not fully lake bed, but it's kind of lake bed where you're kind of skirting the edge of the lake bed. So it's pretty fun, high speed. Then you hop onto the military base, which is just straight line, left 90, straight line, right 180, straight line, left 90, straight line. That's the military base, if you were wondering. It's technical. There was a couple G-outs in there this year, I will give them. But then you jump in just like north of the military base up towards kind of Lucerne Valley area. And you start picking your way through some washes. It was pretty cool. He ran us through some like virgin washes and stuff. And at this point, we are having some alarms flash at us, but I'm not noticing any large changes in power or anything like that. But I am like, there's definitely something in the back of my head that's feeling something, but I'm like, oh, it's just the alarms. and yeah, so it keeps coming on. And then we start ripping, and after that wash, it drops into kind of the most technical spot of this year's race.
Where?
Oh, shit. Oh. Vicente's out there looking for the wash. He's like, what was that? Was that the aliens? Something just fell out of the sky. Okay, one day we'll get this video done. Dude, Vicente, go, get him, Vicente, get him. Like, he's literally perfect in the middle of us. Okay, at this point, we're dropping down into the most technical part of the race course. So, in my mind, realistically, for these guys to win, they're gonna have to pass me or get right on my bumper. And with the way the dust was lining up and stuff, I was like, we're just gonna cruise. We'll finish this first lap, see where we're at, and then we'll either turn it on or just keep it on cruise control. So through all this rocks and stuff, I was battling some trophy trucks and the class 1 cars like RJ Anderson and stuff through this tight technical stuff, but not taking any risks, just doing enough that I could catch them, let them know I'm there, and get them to move, which most were being pretty cool. So drop through there, couple tight rock squeezes, and a couple spots where you could get your drive shaft. But overall, like compared to some stuff they've ran us in the past or Mexico, it was pretty simple. Dropped out of there, and then you kind of just ran through some big whoops, and then ran past remote pit 1, or the only remote pit. And then at that point, it's really just kind of high speed, big whoops, and you're kind of flowing around this mountain, dropping through some washes. It's pretty simple. Then you end up, it's just a huge loop, just blah, 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 blah. And at that point, we're getting split times from, what is it at? The remote pit, and they're like, you're leading, you're like 4th on the road, like just keep doing what you're doing. I'm like, all right, cool, whatever, we're just cruising. Like, this is good. This is just what I wanted. Like, pre-running's paying off. Dust wasn't too bad. And so we start cruising, and then all of a sudden, right when we're getting to like the military base, something starts feeling funny. More, we're still getting this alarm, and we're down on power, and I'm like, gosh dang it. Okay, it's still at like 90% though, so I'm like, we just got to keep our head down at 90%. The way we're running, we don't need 100%. Like, we're good. So we keep picking our way down, and then the military base, once again, super fast. It's like, go down, right 90, left 90, and then just straight for 10 miles or something of just, and you're just kind of like, all right. So do that, and then we hop back down to like Johnson Valley area, and at that point you kind of skirt the military base. It's pretty simple, a couple little like floaters, but overall this course was just super fast. And so then you do these couple floaters, then you drop through one more little tight technical spot, and then it's big open desert, and then you jump on the lake bed. And at this point, I'm like yelling at Drew, hey, something is not right, dude. We need to, like, what's the computer saying? What's happening? And he's like, I don't know. Like, I'm resetting stuff on my side, because there's certain things I can reset, and there's certain things he can reset. Like, we kind of have each my stuff's this, like, so we're resetting everything we can, everything that's throwing alarms. But we're still running good, and then we hop on the lake bed, and on the lake bed, it was just like, okay, something's definitely, it dropped down to like 70% power. And we're just like, come on, we're like, maybe it needs more fuel, it's starving for fuel, they didn't fuel right, like, like we're starting to run everything through our head. But on the lake bed where we should have been doing, let's say 115, 110, 115, we're doing like 90. And we're like, it's a stretch to do 90. And we're just like, oh my gosh, this is not good. And so then you go down the lake bed and you flip a immediate 180. And then you kind of skirt the other side of the lake bed. And at this point, as we're going across, Kerbowski's coming here. And I'm just like, dude, this is not good. He's for sure gonna catch us, because we're running at this 70% mark and it's just not cutting it. So we pick through, whatever, make our way down back to Johnson Valley, another lake bed where we're doing literally like 80. And we're just like, this is not good. And then but we're getting close to the main pit where Jimmy is and everything. So we come in, do the infield, drop into the main pit. Right when we get into the pit, Karbowski flies by us, which I expected. Like, we were running at 70%. Like, I knew he was coming. I knew he had to be right on our bumper, and he was probably just being smart and sitting right outside of our dust, just waiting, because he probably knew something. Hey, Polvoorde's off pace. He's letting me catch him pretty easy. At least hope he thinks I was. So we pull into the pit. They kind of look everything over, add fuel, change the rear tire since we're in there, and they can't find anything. So they're like, hey, just go back out. If you keep running at this 70-80%, you still are right there. So I'm like, okay. We go out, and Karbowski was having problems in the pit, changing a tire. So now we're still leading here, and we're down. And so we just start picking our way through, and then so we're on lap 2, same lap, and then we drop down, going across the next lake bed, and all of a sudden, yeah, Karbowski just passed us in a split lane, which I kind of just took the far right. I knew he would take the left, and we're cruising still, hop on the military base, which this is all high-speed stuff, which when you're down 70% on power, it doesn't go well. Get a nudge from behind, pull over, Herb passes me, and kind of then go, and we're like kind of watching behind us, because obviously I don't want to ruin these guys' day's race. Like, yes, I'm racing them, but now I'm down. I'm just kind of survival. So I'm just kind of banking on one of them having mechanical too. So then going the other way on the military base, Ray passes me, and then we get back into the tight technical stuff where with 70% power, I could actually do pretty decent. And it was kind of funny. All of a sudden I come over this crest, and Herbst is there changing a tire. So I passed him like back, and like it took him a while to pass me back. We were kind of having fun, but we were kind of bummed. So then yeah, we go out by a remote pit, and it's just running at like 70%, and we're still running. At that point, we're third on the road. We're pretty decent, you know, based on our splits. You know, we're like third still overall. So we're like, hey, we're just gonna keep going. We only have like 40 miles or 50 miles. Like, if we run this 70%, like, we could still easily be a podium car. And then as soon as we got past the remote pit, just far enough where it was out of arm's reach, because at this race you're only allowed to pit in 2 specific areas. So if you have an issue outside of those areas, you either gotta walk back to the pit, or yeah, you're screwed. And of course, once we get like kind of in the farthest away from both pits, the truck just goes from 70% to like 60%, then 50, 40, 30, and like it just went down like, and we were just like, dude. But at this point, we're so far out there, we kind of just have to stick with it and try finishing. So we're just cruising, and extremely scary because we're going like 35, and trophy trucks are passing us at like 100. And a lot of these guys just are like sketchy, and we're trying to get out of their way, and it's just like, dude, chill. Actually, before this, in one of the earlier technical spots, a trophy truck hit me, which I will not disclose their name, but if you're watching this and you know you hit me extremely hard unnecessarily, as I told you I was gonna pull over, but we were in a canyon, so there's nowhere to pull over, and you just nerfed me so hard, you like sent me into the sketchy stuff. When I find you next time, which I will catch you in your trophy truck, in my spec truck, I will send you so far you won't know where you are. Back to the schedule, but yeah, someone just sent me for no reason, which I was very pissed off about. But you know what? If they can't pass a 30-mile-an-hour truck really by themselves without just nerfing the shit out of it, it's their own problem. But back to my schedule. Not salty at all, I swear. So yeah, we just kind of keep cruising, and then it just kept getting worse and worse, to a point where we're going across the lake bed, which is just a flat open lake bed at like a solid 25 miles an hour. Just pup, 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 pup. So after that lake bed, we actually pulled over, spent some more time looking at the truck, but we couldn't figure out what it was. Not everything we tried, it didn't add up. So then just keep cruising, but then we get to this sand hill. And when you have 20-30% power, and there's a sand hill with a 6,000-pound truck, 2-wheel drive, it doesn't like it. It really doesn't like it. So we're trying to figure out, so we go up it forward a couple times, get stuck. And then there's like a course marshal, so we're like, hey, just tow us up to the top, like we're good. And he's like, nope, can't tow you. He's like, as soon as I tow you, you're out of the race. And I'm like, I've just driven this slow ass truck for the past hour and a half. There's no way I'm gonna let this guy hook up to me and be done with the race. So I'm just like, oh heck no. So then we're like, all right, we're gonna try it a couple different, there's some different lines. So we keep trying different lines, not making it. And then at one point, like we like back up to try to get out, and it like starts going up the hill like really nice backwards in reverse. And like we make it pretty far without even trying. We're like, oh dang. So then we drive all the way to the bottom. Drew gets on the hood, because in a truck, we don't have good mirrors. We have a backup camera, but you can't see much, especially the sun's going down, it's right in our eyes. And so Drew's on the hood, and we're getting a running start at this hill backwards. And listen up, there's like rocks and bushes and stuff, and we're ripping like 35. For some reason, it would only do like 15 miles an hour forward, but it was doing like 35 in reverse, it felt like. And we're like going reverse, just mobbing backwards. And Drew's on the front just going like this. And I'm like, ah, ah! And like the truck, like, have you ever driven like a forklift where it's rear wheel drive, rear steer? It's scary, like it gets out of control. So like, you're just like going up this hill, and we just keep trying, and we get stuck. So like we can't make it. And then we finally kind of find this line, but we have to cut part of the corner, so we figured we'd get like maybe a penalty for missing a VCP or something. I'm not even sure. I haven't even looked if we did get a penalty. But we kind of cut this corner and like skated by some of the big stuff, but we were able to get it. So we were pumped. Like we got over this hill, which if you saw this hill, you would have been like, what the heck? And so we get over that, and we like make it pretty far. So that it's all pretty casual the next little bit, but then I'm like, dude, there's that Baldwin's jump hill, which is a very steep hill. Like steep, sandy, miserable. So we get to that, and that's a whole nother adventure trying to go up it forward. Then we got like fully stuck, and I thought we were done because like we didn't have enough power, and we were kind of in this hole. But Drew got out and like kind of dug, and then he was pushing. It took him actually pushing to get up and over. And then after multiple other attempts, we got up and over Baldwin's jump and to the finish. But at that point, we were hours down, and it was frustrating, but it was definitely, I mean, in the end, it was good to finish, and we put on a show, but it was super frustrating when you were leading on cruise control. Yeah, because I forgot to mention, when we came into the main pit, we were leading overall on time, like overall the trophy trucks too. So that was frustrating because we literally, a 200-mile race, we made it 100 miles limping. And then we were still leading, and then they took it from us. But what can you do? Nothing like losing 50 grand. Nothing like losing 50 grand right in front of you. But yeah, that's kind of a wrap. I know that's just kind of rant, probably wasn't that entertaining, but when you don't win, it's not that cool, to be honest. But yeah, if you guys were wondering what happened, that's it. But then some type of kind of electrical issue haunted us. And that's it. Welcome to racing. You win some, and you lose some. As the motivational speakers would say, the losses are what make the win better. Or you must first fall, then to get back up. I don't know. If I don't win, I'm not happy. Hate to say it, but it's a wrap. That was an eventful filming of this video. Thanks for tuning in.